start out first with a couple definitions, right? This is my first time tuning in. Cool. Thank you for joining in. So starting out with a couple definitions, right? We're talking about men submitting to women. No, it wasn't Ace. Ace wasn't on. Um, so the definition of submit is to accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. Let me read it again. Submit, to accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. Now we're going to do submissive. Submissive, ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly obedient and passive. All right? Ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive. So, this is a hot topic a lot of times when we discuss in relationships, right? We talk about men typically talk about women submitting all the time. You know, it's kind of a one-sided uh, discussion most times when submitting comes around. But the fact of the matter is that men submit to women first. Those are just the facts. Now, as men, we might not want to hear or we might not like saying that we submit to women, but we do by definition. And I used to have a hang up with it too. I personally had a problem with it also when I heard the word submit to a woman. I had a problem with it as a man because as a man, it's just not something that's um, naturally in us when it comes to dealing with women. You know what I mean? Especially if you grew up, with some type of Bible teaching, whatever the case, where they say, hey, women, be in subjection to your man, submit to your man. It never says men submit to your woman. It says treat your woman, love your woman as you love yourself, right? So you never really hear a discussion about men submitting to women. And it rubs a lot of men the wrong way. And it did me the same way. I hated hearing it. I was on an episode on tonight's conversation, and we were talking about it, and I just wasn't going for it. I was like, nah, man, get out of here. No man submitting to no woman. Are you kidding? And then I heard another perspective on it, and it made so much sense. So when I say men submit to women first, it's true because we, by definition, accept or yield to the will of women. That's the definition of submit and to be submissive. Are there other definitions? Yeah. Women submit to the superior force or authority of a man because because most men are physically stronger. That's why women want men to lead and be the man of the house, right? Because he's superior in strength in most cases. That's why women want men that are bigger in weight a lot of times and in height. Women want men that are bigger in weight and bigger in height so that she can feel protected by him because he's superior to her in strength in most cases. So um, that's the part of the definition that applies to women with being submissive, right? Because how it's supposed to go, like I said, if you got some Bible teaching, it's God, man, woman, kids. The man submits to God, the woman submits to man, the kids submit to the parents. That's the way a household is supposed to run. And most women don't want to be the leader in the household. Most women want the man to do it naturally. They just like, nah, this ain't where I'm supposed to be. Y'all don't like it because it's not your position. It's not your natural position as a woman to lead and run a man in a household. That's why most women don't want to do it. So they naturally submit to a man in his authority. That's just what, what I'm saying, most women do or should do. So the men submit to the will of a woman first because when we want to talk to a woman, we approach a woman because we know that most women are not gonna approach us. So it's the will of women that men approach them. So guess what we do? We submit. We submit as men and walk up to you and introduce ourselves and be like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" That's what we do. We submit and walk up to that woman and introduce ourselves because we want you. When a woman wants to go out on dates, of course she want to go out on dates. That's the will of a woman. She want to go out on dates when she you know what I'm saying, give a man her number. That's the will of a woman. Guess what we do? We submit. We submit and go get her and take her on dates if we like her. Because that's her will, that's what she wants. Right? When a woman go out with a man and she walking up to a restaurant door, it's the will of a woman that a man be a gentleman and open up that door and let that woman walk in. Guess what we do? We submit and we do it as men. Even though we don't even know you like that. We just met you and we trying to get to know you and we're dating. Or I'm taking you out. We do it. We submit first. When a woman want a man that's a provider, right? When they go out. A woman want a man that can provide. That's gonna pay the bill when they go out to eat. When they go out for dates. Guess what we do? We submit to that. And we say, I got it. It's all good. I'm the man. That's what I'm supposed to do. I got it. It's all good. We submit to the will of the women first. Before the women ever submit to us, we do it. Initially, because we don't even know them. But we know that that woman 9 times out of 10 ain't going to walk up to us and ask us for our number. We know that that's the will of a woman for us to come and approach them because most women don't approach. We doing it before we even know you. But a lot of men don't think about it that way. I didn't think about it that way. I never thought of that as submitting to a woman, but it is because we know the will of a woman. That's the definition. So by definition, we submit to women first just to get to know her. That's why we approach her. She ain't gonna approach us. Her will is for us to approach them. So we do it. So we get caught up as men and women. It ain't just the men and it ain't just the women. We get caught up so much in words. We get caught up so much in words because of our egos and pride. I was like that too. Like I said, I ain't no different from nobody else. I ain't no different. I was just like that. I ain't submitting to no woman. What you mean? But then when I sat back and thought about it and I heard a different perspective, I'm like, I do submit to women. And every other man does. Unless, if a man tell you he don't submit to women, it's he either lying or he's a pimp. I mean like a real pimp. Like a real pimp. Otherwise, when he trying to get to know a woman, like I said, he's approaching that woman. That's submitting to what she wants. You taking her on dates. That's submitting to what she wants. You paying for the date. That's submitting to what she wants. Protecting her, having some protection over her, watching her walk into the house when you drop her off. That's submitting to what that woman wants, whether we like the word or not. It is what it is. But you have to be a mature man to really understand these words and what they mean and be able to put your pride and ego to the side and say, man, that's right. We do submit to women because we do. Initially, we do it. We submit first. In essence, we're teaching the woman how to submit to us. That's why we're the leaders. That's why we the leaders. We approach them, we pay, we open the door, we do all the things that women want us to do. We are submitting first and showing her how to do it. Now, a woman should come with that too. A woman should come with that submissive attitude to a man, where she's accepting of him and what, you know what I'm saying, he wants to do, whatever the case. But when you get into a relationship with a man, when you get into a relationship with a man, there is a, lack of better words, a hierarchy within the relationship. And it's for a reason, because we are different. You can't want a man to lead you and then don't want to submit to that man and his authority as a man. If you want to be equal and stand by my side, okay. When somebody come up in here or there's some trouble outside, it's your turn to go do it, boo. We equals, remember? You don't want to be equal to a man. You want that man to behave like a man. So you got to step back to your rightful spot as a helpmate. You ain't meant to be the leader. That's why women get frustrated and upset with doing everything by themselves, taking on all the burden on their own. And they want a man to do it because they ain't meant for that position. So you have to have a submissive attitude when you are dealing with a man. Depends on the man, but the type of man that most women want, you are going to have to be a submissive type of woman in order to deal with him. It's that simple. It's just that simple. And if you don't want to be, it's cool. You don't have to be submissive to no man. You don't have to be submissive to no man. Make no mistake. You can do whatever it is you want to do out here. But understand what you're going to get out here. Understand what you're going to lose out here, because the quality men out here who got their lives in order, that actually want to get in relationships and marry, the ones that the women are attracted to, that's a requirement. He trying to be with another man. He don't want to be with a woman that's masculine, don't know how to submit, got an attitude about the word, don't like the actions of it. He don't want to be with you seriously. He don't want to deal with you seriously in most cases because you act like a man. Just like most women don't want to deal with a man that behaves like a woman. It ain't no different. It's the submissive attitude. That's what I look for in a woman when I first meet her and we first go out. Or we talking, whatever the case. I remember I talked to this woman one time. And I told this story before. She we had talked for maybe a week or whatever the case. And I had asked her about if you married, because she said, I always get white on my toes all the time. This is what she said. I said, what if you get married and your husband wanted you to, you know what I'm saying, change it for him? She said, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I only get white. That's it. It's no discussion. I'm not doing it. I said, really? For your husband? You wouldn't do that for your husband? She said, nah. I said, well, I'll talk to you later. You don't have a submissive attitude to say, baby, that's what you want. It's cool. It's cool, boo. That's what you want, but I bet you want it from a man. I bet that a woman like that wants that from a man. Guarantee it. If it's something that woman wants. So I cut her off.